Hello, welcome. This is part 2 of my color along out of Thomas Kincaid's Disney Studios. This page is in both books, whether you have the Snow White or the Beauty and the Beast version. So you're welcome to join or follow along or do your own way or just watch. For this one, I didn't finish my water. I have my highlights put in still, but I'm going to go ahead and do the boat and the mermaid, and we'll see how far we get from there. So if we look at this side, it is really dark, and I am not going to do the same colors as them because I want mine to be a little brighter. I am the queen of bright. So I'm going to follow, I forgot to pull hair colors. I'm going to draw my own lines in on the boat. See how mine's plain and theirs has lines in here. But for her outfit, I'm going to stick with the more recognized purple and teal colors. So let's get started. I'm quickly going to pull my browns. All right, so I pulled sepia, chocolate, dark umber, and goldenrod, and I will start with that and go from there and see what I want. So sepia is going to be first, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to build in my shadow under the rail of this boat. Try to do this without turning the book, but it's kind of tricky. Okay, so I'm just kind of placing my shadows in. So I'm going to go ahead and color in behind him shadowed. And this is where the boat is going to get a little tricky. So first of all, I'm going to darken these lines. So sepia, nice and dark layer over all the lines on both sides. Don't forget the other side. Now you can tell I'm kind of loosely putting it in because I'm going to blend all the other colors anyway. This one I'm going to bring down a little because the water is going to make this side of the boat a little darker here. I want to make sure I do that on this side as well. Okay, so when I was here, now is where you kind of decide if you want to do the swirly boat, the wood pattern, or straight lines. I'm just going to kind of and I'm just loosely putting them in. If I don't like them, you can always come back and fix it later. So I'm not really following the other side, but if you need ideas of what the little patterns look like or anything, the other side is a great, it'll show you what lines to put in. Model, a great model is the word I was looking for. I am not with it. I had a rough day. All right. So I'm just kind of darkening those, making sure I like them. Now they aren't going to be this dark when I get my other colors in, so I am going to darken them so I don't lose them. Okay. There's also on this side some like little shadow lines coming down on the inside of the boat. I'm not really going to worry about that a whole lot, but I am going to bring my dark down just a little more so it'll get a nice ledge look. Let me get the rest of my colors in. Okay, chocolate is my next one. I want a fair amount of chocolate because I want a nice dark brown boat. So everywhere I put that dark color, again, the bottom over here is going to be darker because the water, or at least on my boat anyway. Okay, if you feel like you lost your dark, which I definitely did in a couple spots, and I might even come in with one darker still after I get my other colors in. This is burnt ochre. And over everywhere I put that chocolate. This is going to be my transition color to my highlight color. You can go from chocolate to goldenrod if you like. It's just a little bit rougher of a transition. So I like having one more color in there to kind of help that. And I accidentally colored my little frog. I'm sorry, that's really loud. I put a new battery in it. Finally remembered. Okay. Okay, and then my goldenrod. And notice I'm not blending or anything just yet. So I'm just kind of putting in a nice layer. I'm going to do this little spot before I forget. And I haven't done the edge of my boat either. All right. And I'm going all the way over to the edge. Again, I will probably washi tape or border it out so that it's an even edge. So I'm just going to color over far enough that I can do that. Okay, when you're blending colors like this, make sure that you keep your side to side. If you start going up and down, your wood grain is going to start looking like it's going up and down. And we don't want that. So I am going to pull a tiny bit of dark umber here because it's a little darker than the sepia. And just put my shadows in. Again, just darkening the bottom of my boat as well. And this ledge up here. Now, if you like the look of your boat like this, leave it. If you want these woods to be a little darker, go ahead and darken those up. And I do want mine a little darker. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of, not like that though. One sec. Use the chocolate to blend out the dark umber in the sepia so it doesn't have any lines. Wood is a weird thing because we want lines, but we don't want lines. Okay, again with that burnt ochre, our transition color to our highlight color. And we have officially created lines to our boat. Now that is a very quick and simple way to do it. There are tons of ways, and you know, you could go in with lots of thinner lines and get the more detailed grain woodwork. Kind of just like easy. So now I'm going to take my goldenrod, which is my highlight, and I'm going to color the top of this boat. I want the very thin line around it on top to be my highlight color. Got my little frog again, so we'll come back and clean up. 1 second, I gotta pull my eraser out a little bit here. Not a huge deal, but all right. Now I'm gonna take that dark umber. I'm gonna go over this line right here. All the way around. Try to stay on that line as much as I can, and then not everywhere. Again, highlight colors wants to poke through, but in some random spots I'm going to add this burnt ochre, and there is our boat. So I got a little okay. Oh, right here. Let's see, I thought there was one more spot. Oh. Okay, and why I see this spot, I'm going to go ahead and fix this wood right here. Okay. So I'm liking how that is looking so far. Again, I am the wrong girl if you are trying to mimic the other side. All right, let's play with some skin. So these two are male and female, and they are very close in proximity. So I do not want them to have the exact same skin tone. I want them to look a little different. So for him, he's going to have a little more of a tan look. So I'm going to pull a tiny dot of orange. Give me 1 second. I forgot to pull it. This is mineral orange. I'm looking for pumpkin orange. 1 second. Okay, so pumpkin orange or mineral orange, and I will quickly show you. So pumpkin orange, mineral orange. Then the next one I'm going to do is peach. And then light peach. So kind of up to you to decide which one you like. I think I actually am going to go mineral orange for him. So very, very lightly. I'm even going to sharpen that even more. Okay. This is his shadow color. Very lightly. We do not want him to look like a pumpkin in any way. So shadowing around where he's holding onto that oar, his little wrist, the bottom of his hand. And remember, it's easier to add more than to take away. So if you're not sure, add your peach and blend it out a little and then add more. So I'm going to do the side of his nose so his nose stands out a little, and his dimple. And I'm going to bring that peach in. And I'm still going to leave some white because I am going to have highlight, right? I want highlight in there. Okay, same thing on his hands down here. There's not a lot of room to work, and again, you could really get into some detail and add tons of colors to the face if that is your thing. Again, I kind of like simple and effective. So I'm going over all my colors, making sure everything looks nice and blended. He doesn't have any harsh lines standing out. Sorry about that, forgot to plug my phone in. Okay. This is why it's kind of important not to get blue on your hands, because when you get to this part, you'll be smearing blue all over him. Like I just pulled blue into it. And I also did his skin before I did the ore, so that I wouldn't get brown that way as well. So that is what I have for him. Now for her, I'm just going to go a little pinker. She's going to be a little pinker. So before I even put her skin colors in, I'm going to add a little pink to her cheeks, the tip of her nose, a little above her eyes here. I'm going to erase this blue off her fingers. Okay. And then I'm going to go light peach. I am going to add peach, but I kind of want to put this color down first. Again, when we put a base layer down, it will dull the color we put over it, so we'll just make her look a little lighter than him, which is what we want. We kind of want to be able to see the difference in their skin tones. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with her hands. I'm going to color them in. And then I'm going to come in with my peach, darken the details. All right, so there is our skin. Okay, so I'm going to pull crimson red for her hair. And poppy red. And I will add a darker color, but to start with, I'm going to try to go and not get her bow. Trying to follow the other side, the guide. So it kind of doesn't really show you. Her hair stops right here somewhere, but they just have black right there. And right up against her is black as well. But because my page ain't so dark, I'm not going to add all that black. So I'm kind of just filling it out here. I got this nice big loop right here by her head as well. I almost thought I messed it up. I thought maybe she's wearing a hat at first and it wasn't hair, but I think it's hair. Just the way it's drawn. Okay, so the rest of this, I'm going to fill in with the poppy red. Now it's going to look weird, but I'm not done. I will blend out the lines and add a little darker of a color. But I want to make sure I got everything where how I want it first. So I am going to stop her hair right there, and I will come back in and put my, we'll just go ahead and do it now. So she's going to be kind of sitting on a seat here. We're just going to kind of blend that together so it all becomes one and not as noticeable. Just like that. Okay. So back with the poppy red. Getting a nice layer of that down. Now this little section right there I'm not worrying about because I'm going to fill it in with my darker color anyway. And we're gonna go Tuscan red for our dark spots. I don't want to use as much black as they did, so I'm gonna kind of incorporate my shadows with just a darker color. And then I'm just going to make sure I don't have any lines. So I'm blending out that darker color I put on. All right. And I like her hair. So I didn't actually pull colors to do his hair for some reason either, because I'm not with it. So I'm gonna go black and indigo blue and medium cold gray. And that's really loud, so 1 second. All right, so now we're gonna tackle his hair. His highlights are about right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the highlights in first. And the reason I do this is so if I accidentally color it with the black or the blue, it will still show up as a highlight. So I'm kind of running this highlight even across his head, and I might even go over it with white once it's all said and done. It gets a little smaller as it gets towards his ear. Okay, so those are going to be our highlights to start with. And I just drew on my page with black. Good thing the purple will cover that. Okay, so we're going to go his little sideburn here. And we're going to go up here. Okay, then I'm going to take that blue and I'm going to use a very tiny amount of it. It's more just to give the black a slick look than to actually add color to the page. Okay, and then I'm going to still go over it with a little black just to tame it down even more. Highlight right here because it looks weird to me. Okay. Adding just a little blue. Darken my black in. Okay, and then we're going to take that gray and we're going to start blending it all together here. And if the gray looks too gray, like you think he's starting to look more like an old man than a highlight, add a little black over the top and just play with it. Layers will be your friend in black hair. Okay, so that's, you can tell, kind of a big highlight. So we're just going to come in with our black. We're going to just darken it up a little. There. I think that looks pretty good. So while I have my reds out from her hair, I'm going to do the same color scheme on his belt here. So this is going to be my dark red, my darkest red anyway. Then I'm going to outline that with this medium red here. And then I'm going to go to the edge with the poppy. Okay, I was trying to decide where I wanted to go next. I'm gonna go ahead and do her shirt. So I pulled cobalt, turquoise, aquamarine, and light aqua. So again, these aren't the exact colors they use on the opposite page, but when I think of Little Mermaid, I think of the purple and the aqua colors. So I'm going to play off of those. So the middle of her outfit here is purple, so we're not going to touch that. Okay, light aqua, or aquamarine, sorry. Confuse everybody here. And this is why I put a little bit in my water, because that way now the colors in the water are incorporated in somewhere else as well. I want to make sure her shirt doesn't look like the water here. So we are now on light aqua. Getting everything blended out here. Try not to pull that red in from her hair. Okay, and then if you think you want anywhere a little darker, you just come back in with your aqua or cobalt turquoise. Goodness, bad at my colors tonight. And just kind of work those. In. Now, of course, we don't want no lines, so we're going to go ahead and blend that out with our medium. Okay, and I think I am going to do her bow purple, just to pull in this purple up a little higher. So I'm going to call it there for tonight. Questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know, and I hope to see you for part 3. Thanks for watching.